Yo,
Yo,
how's it going?
pretty good. How are you?
I'm chilling. I'm glad the stream's working now. That was really weird,
Yeah.
but Twitch must have changed something or something like that. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, how's it going? Like,
Pretty good.
what is the issue with Melee today? What are we going to be going over?
Yeah, so I first wanted to look at the Falco versus Sheik matchup
Mm hmm.
because I think it's one of the ones that's less common in terms of like lessons that you have already on your channel.
Mm hmm.
So I feel like I haven't got like your full kind of uh, conceptual game plan, and also like there's a lot of sheiks in my region right now that are around my level, so it's a good matchup for me to improve on.
Mm hmm. Okay.
And then yeah, and then I was also hoping like to dedicate a little bit of time at the end to some Fox versus, or Falco versus Fox.
Okay. Yeah, I think you said maybe like 30, 40 minutes on the Sheik lesson and then we'll switch. So
Yeah,
it's like 2:30 now. You can just let me know when you feel like it's a good time to switch to the Fox VODs and we can just switch over then.
sure.
Um, okay, so what's been happening against the Sheiks? Or do you just not really have any thoughts on it and just want to get better?
Yeah, so like this is like one of the only matchups where I don't really have like most of my understanding of the matchup seems to be intuitive,
Mm hmm.
whereas every like all the other matchups I think about them a lot, and I've but this is one I think it's just because one of my early practice partners was Sheik, so I got it was never like a problem matchup for me,
Mm
so I
hmm.
kind of have never really thought about it too much.
Okay.
And I guess there's one thing in particular is that for some reason I feel uncomfortable on FD in this matchup, which is weird
Yeah,
because
that is
I
interesting.
yeah, like I like FD in like every other matchup,
Mm hmm.
even even when it's a bad stage for me, I
Mm
still
hmm.
feel like okay on it.
Mm hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, there's I'm assuming there's like an FD game in the set.
Yeah, yeah. So I sent this one, which is Fountain, and then the other one is FD.
Okay, got it. Do you want to start on this fountain one?
Sure.
Okay, let me screen share you then. Okay, it's working.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's take a look, see what we got. Okay, this is just like a small thing. A lot of times, so Falco's just kind of bad at zero, right? Like
Yeah.
when like the opponent's at zero, we know Falco's awful. So a lot of times, Marth, Sheik, doesn't matter. A lot of types of those like middleweight characters, they start with this like they don't want to interact with the lasers and take any damage, so they just sort of do this thing where they start off the match by like crossing the top platform all the way to the side plat and they try to come down on you. Marths do this too. They go like, whoa, full hop over all the way to you because they know they're at
Yeah.
zero. Um, so I think it's kind of like the best way to deal with that is to hold them off if they're going to like actually approach from the front. Like if she like did this jump but then fast fell through the platform and tried to like come at you, you can be ready for that. But then like once they get up here and they're kind of dropping to the side plat here, I like to just do like a dash roll away or something like that, and then if they want to go up and over again, maybe they'll get hit by like some lasers up here, and then if they try to come down, I get my lasers. I just don't like to let them get this like free setup, because like the Sheik made it super obvious, or yeah, Fizzwiggle made it super obvious that he was going like over here, and then you're still here like shooting lasers, and it just doesn't really make any sense to be shooting lasers when the Sheik is not coming in from this angle at all. So just be
Yeah.
aware that it's zero, and especially a lot of times at the beginning of the game, they go for this like over the top approach, and I just sort of chill here, and then I just go to the other side. It's just something that comes up like a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, up tilted. That was good up tilt by him. Okay. Yeah, I definitely feel the like intuitive, not really using a game plan vibe here. I think it's because Falco's moves just kind of beat Sheik's moves a lot of the time, uh, and a lot of times she has trouble accounting for all his different drifts and nair versus down air and all that kind of stuff. So a lot of times you can just sort of stuff her with moves, and I think that is kind of what you've noticed subconsciously, and it looks like a lot of the situations you're just sort of, well, I'm near Sheik, so I'll just kind of throw out aggressive options, and it generally works. And I think that it's a portion of the truth that like you can kind of use your moves to bully Sheik and run her over a little bit, but a lot of but like the times you got hit and died so far were definitely you trying to like push that a little too far. So it's like the feeling of being able to kind of beat up Sheik is still there, but it's just a piece of the matchup instead of like the whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay, that was a nice back air. And we'll go over it a little bit more as we go through. And any thoughts you have are welcome to. If you have any thoughts on what's happening here.
It does seem a little, kind of like a little bit of a sloppy game. From because I kind of just picked a random one from the session.
Yeah, I don't really mind how he's playing it too much. Like, yeah, he could be doing better and stuff, and definitely like hitting harder, but that's not really what's concerning me that much. So first of all, it's like a little bit too fast-paced from your end. See, I'm trying to think of where to start. It's hard because of how, like, I can tell it's pure intuition the way you're playing it, kind of like how you mentioned, and it's difficult to figure out exactly where to start. Okay. Can use that. Okay, so basically the way you're playing this matchup is a lot of scrambles, a lot of sort of like, let's fight it out and see who comes out on top. And I think that can occasionally beat Sheik, but you're not going to have consistency. I think the pacing of the match is really like fast and aggressive to like a level it doesn't need to be. Basically, the main issue is that Falco has a pretty strong punish game on Sheik, but if he's not really careful in neutral, he will just get that sort of like, oh, I got tapped and then I died type thing. And a lot of the
Yeah.
decisions you've been making are very like, well, it's kind of okay if I get tapped. Like, it's not a big deal. Like, you're sort of trying to like force your way in here. Like, look at this sequence.
Yeah.
And this type of stuff has been happening a lot where you're like laser and you're like walk in, shield, and then jump out of shield, shine, hold down, jump down air, spot dodge, and then like, you know, it's kind of like that is just like a super aggressive gambly sequence, you know, for not a really. It's not like if you hit one of those down airs, you were guaranteed to get a stock or an edge guard or anything like that. So it's not. It's just sort of throwing out moves and hoping that you're the one who comes out on top. And so you want to organize it a little bit better and start thinking of like how to mitigate your risk against Sheik. Like, you should be trying to create a game plan that makes it so that you can like beat Sheik without ever getting hit.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. So there was a spot back here that I think represented more what you should be doing a lot better. And so this is one of my main things in the matchup is I think you should laser Sheik from slightly outside of forward tilt range. So like let's say she takes this laser or whatever, like yeah, let's just say this laser hits her. Let's say she tries to forward tilt or something, and then the laser hits her and cancels the forward tilt or the up tilt or whatever. You want this, like this spacing is so good. And it's because if you hit her with the laser, you're still pretty safe. She can't hit you with any like immediate tilts or anything like that. And so you sort of get this nice spacing where if she wants to get you, she needs to dash in. And she doesn't really have a lot of great options off dash in. Like she has dash attack, boost grab, or like dash in, short hop, aerial, or something like that.
Yeah.
She doesn't really have any great punishes for it. And so, or like great, not punishes, but great like approaching options there. She doesn't really have great approaching options. And if she power shields it, she's kind of at a range where like she can't get in on you super easily either, even out of like the power shield wave dash. And so a lot of times they'll end up just sort of shielding or ending up in this type of spot, which is what you want. So just sort of think about this range a lot. And, you know, it's a little bit, maybe a little bit closer. You could be, is like the closest range I would say you could get, maybe like right here instead. But this is totally within like the acceptable range that I think you should be like aiming for.
Yeah.
So basically, like, if you can get Sheik on the ground, you know, move around with your lasers, try to get some laser damage, and try to set up one of these lasers. So then when you get this laser, you're doing the correct option here where you dash dance, and Sheik is just in a really negative spot. She, a lot of times, will opt for, like, short hop aerials like this. This is just incredibly common for her to do. And the waveland back is another common option. So, like, let's say she does this, and she does this short hop aerial. There are, like, basically if you choose to do a safe option out of the laser, like you just do laser dash back here, or like laser retreating laser, you're just always safe, and you just hit her with two lasers. Like hit with the laser or hit the shield, and then you laser again and you hit her out of the air with the laser. So you at least get a little bit of laser damage, which can be, you know, it's always useful to get a little bit of extra damage. And you can just sort of use that to reset neutral and keep playing if you want to be safe. And then if you choose not to be safe, typically the best option is to nair. Sheik has a really hard time dealing with Falco's nair in general. Like, he super cuts through all of her aerials. Like, if you nair at her and she fares, your nair will just win, like, almost every time. It'll set up really well for, like, combos and stuff. Like if you nair her out of this drift in fair, you might just get like nair into like down air into an edge guard, or nair into like jump out into a nair, another nair, or a back air, or a shine bear, or all kinds of things. So it sets up really well for openings, even at zero. That's the nice thing about this, is that like if you're shooting lasers right outside of this F tilt range, and then you happen to get like a nair read, like you do laser, dash back, dash in, short hop, nair, and you catch her out of this at zero, a lot of times you'll get nair into shine, and you'll get a big combo at zero, or like low percent, 10%, leading into a good amount of damage. Does this make sense so far? Is this
Yeah.
following? Okay. So, yeah, you can basically either turn this situation into an aggressive mix-up with a Nair, or you just reset to neutral and you back off and you kind of do it again. And honestly, it's pretty simple like that. Alright, so this is the other one I wanted to go into, is you usually don't want to do laser and then instantly Nair here, because a lot of times Sheik will do stuff like take laser F tilt to beat. Yeah. It's kind of the same reason why approaching laser onto Sheik isn't very good, and I'm glad I didn't see you using that at all, at least. Like, you know that that's bad. It's pretty easy to tell it's bad because you do it like one time and you're just approaching laser and she F tilts. She's not usually dashing back, so the approaching laser is just not that good. And it's kind of the same with this, where it's like, it's not that good to just do like laser approaching aerial unless you're going to get like a big cross-up nair or something. A lot of times I like to sort of confirm, oh, I got the laser on the shield, or I hit the laser on, you know, her body, and then I'm gonna change my decision making off of that. Either like maybe she takes laser, so I move back a step and I laser again in case she tries to hit me with like a walk in or something like that, or like I get it and it's on the shield and then I'll dash dance and then she short hops and I'll get like a nair. Whereas like if you just sort of do like laser approaching nair and it's not even a cross up, then this can just get randomly grabbed. Whereas like if this was a cross up, you would have hit her, and if you had just dash danced, it would have been fine. So it's just kind of like just doing laser instant nair, and if you're not close enough to cross up, it kind of just makes it it's like the most obvious option. It's like not that different from the dash dance nair, but it's just timing wise it makes it a lot easier to punish.
So would you say the place where you do want to do laser instant aerial would be like you're close, like if the laser lands close enough that your nair will beat an instant F tilt and it'll reach their wave dash back?
It's not as much about it beating the instant F tilt, because I feel like I don't think you can ever really beat the instant F tilt. I could be wrong. That would be interesting if you could. I usually don't rely on that. It's more just the fact that like so the nair will still lose to take laser F tilt there, but it beats all these other options. Like it'll beat the wave dash back and the dash back and stuff like that, and you know the dash in. Like it gets you out of more bad situations. So it doesn't beat everything. You know, laser nair at close range is not like an unbeatable option, but it's way stronger than laser nair a little bit further away.
Right.
So then, like, when you're in a situation like this, you would kind of play it. So you get this laser, the power shield. Usually when I get power shielded by Sheik, I just like to dash back. And I just kind of, I would have just set up for another laser here and tried to set up the same range again. Forcing your way in like this sometimes can work. But like I said, it's not as consistent as you would like it to be. Okay, it looks like accidental roll or something there. Okay, let's start over this game really quick, but
I think part of it possibly also is like sometimes I feel like on Fountain of Dreams I feel like there's so little space to work with. I don't feel comfortable like moving back to set things up. A lot of times, especially when the platform is low, and so
that's fair.
Go in more.
Sheik doesn't have the greatest time attacking into the top platform, or like attacking into the opposite. Like if you're right above her and she's on here, like yeah, she's gonna up tilt like crazy and stuff like that. But if she's here and you're like here, you're in like a pretty safe spot. So you just don't have to feel so locked down in neutral that like if she's here and you're here that like like I don't have any space. Like as long as you have enough space for the forward tilt, you're good. And if you don't, you can a lot of times use the platforms to kind of maneuver and get down and get another laser, kind of like how you would against like any other character on like Fountain. Like you can still laser characters on Fountain and Yoshi's. It just takes a little bit more platform movement and stuff like that. And you can't just like, you know, it's not like Dreamland where you're just like, well, I'm under the side plat and I'm shooting lasers and like I just have an infinite amount of space, you know. So
Yeah.
it's like it is tighter, but you still have to laser. Like you can't just give up on lasers because the stage is small. You just have to kind of be a little bit more creative about how you get into the laser spots. So like, let me see if I can find an example. Like right here, I feel like you feel like stuffed because of this like weird low platform height and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And it's like you can just do something like you can dash back here and laser. Like I like to do this one, like where I just go here and I backflip laser right here, or you can do something where you just short or you full hop waveland right here. Like Sheik can't get over and immediately attack the side plat, so it puts you up here. You get a second to dash dance. Maybe you full hop over to this side. Maybe you hold shield for a second and then you waveland off laser when she backs off. So it's like you can still get the lasers. It's just not like you can't just like, oh, I'm gonna short hop laser in place immediately, which
Yeah.
is normally the way we play the character. Like I do get that like when you can, just instant short hop lasering is usually the best option. But on Fountain, things just get a little tricky, and it's kind of like that against like Marth and stuff too. A lot of times I end up doing like I'll go here, laser, and then like dash, full hop, waveland, dash, full hop, waveland, that type of thing. And then you
I
can
see.
use the top plat to kind of like mix her up and then like short hop off, or like there's ways to get down from here to run off laser and stuff like that. It's just a little bit more effort. But don't feel pressured that like because you don't have a super easy instant laser like right in place that you can't laser at all, because if you can't laser at all, Falco is just a bad character. Like he's just not as good
Yeah.
of a character if you can't laser. So like when you're in a spot where you're like, this is really uncomfortable, I feel like I can't laser, you should be like, how can I find a way to laser? Rather than just like, okay, fine, I'll fight it out with my moves. Because
Yeah.
sometimes, okay, let's say Sheik is at like 70. Honestly, sure. Like if Sheik is at higher percent, sure, you can kind of fight your way in. It's like it's not that bad. It's not like I don't want you to do it every time, but like you can kind of fight it out. But at 0, no way. Like I'm trying to get lasers and get out of there. I think
Yeah,
focus.
that makes sense. I think I definitely had in my mind a feeling of like, okay, the platform's here, I can't laser, I just have to do some like random attack.
Yeah, and
And
if
if
you
it
and if yeah, if that was true, and you and or like, if you treat that as true and you follow that as a rule, it just kind of makes Falco worse on this stage.
yeah, because I definitely I don't feel the same kind of pressure on Yoshi's.
Because the
Um
platform, like you can
yeah,
short hop laser without getting caught here.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it. You just have to use the platforms to like
Yeah.
get the
I'll
lasers out.
definitely, yeah, I'll definitely try to think about that more.
And then also just like at 0, you just don't want to interact with any character. Like
Yeah.
they're just gonna want to force it, and a lot of times it gives you like a free grab or something. But like you don't really want to like be going in or doing any kind of these like wave dash back shine bear. Like there's 0. It's not gonna do any good.
Yeah.
And yeah, so this is good where you get this laser, just showing you how this all ties into this like framework where it's like you hit this laser, boom, right outside of forward tilt range, great. Then you get this dash dance mix up. You're actually dashing back too far. This is actually probably messing you up big time against Sheik. You're actually dashing back here as if you're dashing back against like Marth after a laser, where like he has like dash short hop fair and stuff like that. So he has like way bigger range. If you think about it, like what can Sheik do? Like her furthest hitting move is like what, short hop nair or something, which hits like here. So you can actually just do like little dinky dash dances. Like you can even do like laser, dash in, dash back. But basically you don't really want to like move in your dash dance. This initial dash back you're doing like gives her too much like respect and space where you do it all the way back to here. And now you've kind of lost that important range that you wanted. You kind of laser and then you like move back, and now you're no longer at the range where Sheik feels pressured. And that
So
is hmm?
if you do the tiny dash dance, I guess my my problem, or like what I'm confused about is doing such a short dash, you have less time to like see what is happening. So are you just kind of like, what are you doing after the dash dance?
Oh, so the dash dance isn't actually to avoid any of Sheik's moves. Like, I'm not lasering and then dash dancing to get her to whiff based on my dash dance. The dash dance's purpose is exclusively to show Sheik a dash animation and see if she'll flinch. That's like the whole purpose of it. Or to change the timing. So it's just laser, dash dance like this, and the whole goal is to get her to be like, forward tilt, or like, like spot dodge, or like, shield, or, you know, something like that. Like, you want her to, like, think you're gonna approaching aerial. That's kind of the purpose of it. You, like, because you lasered outside of forward tilt range, you're already safe. Like, she doesn't have an aggressive option here. Like, here, she does not have an option that will hit you. So, like, what you want to do here is threaten the dash in, and dash back does threaten the dash in sometimes, like, because, you know, dash in, dash, or dash back, dash in, it happens really fast, and they kind of know that Falcos will do this little dash dance mix up before coming in.
Yeah.
But so basically, you just have to make sure that you're not doing like laser dash back, dash in. You know, you're like, it's like laser dash dance, like little like back and forth. It's not like a laser dash back like you would do against like Marth or something like that to keep yourself safe.
Yeah, because I think like what I do now is I'll do the laser and then do the approach that is delayed in such a way that their instant F tilt will whiff and I'll punish it.
Mm-hmm.
Or if I think they're not gonna do the F tilt, I'll laser and then like dash dance a bit and like laser again.
Yeah.
But I'm not really
No, that's good. Like, that's definitely correct. All I'm saying is like, here, let me show you. It's basically the difference between these two things. So.
And I find like sometimes if I'm lasering and dash dancing, and instead of F tilt they did like a nair.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times I just get clipped by it if I'm too. Or like I don't know. Like sometimes they.
Like what kind of nair? Like what do you mean?
I guess there's a lot of times where I'll do the laser dash dance and go in, and then I'll get clipped going in at that timing because the nair hits later than the F tilt.
Oh yeah. No, that'll just happen. That's just kind of the mix-up, and that's why a lot of times, like, sometimes you do like one dash dance like this, and sometimes you'll do like two, you know, and sometimes you just reset. And so like they're kind of gambling. A lot of times I'll get something like this where I get kind of like that. Like I'll get kind of like, oh, you nared, and then I'll get something out of it, rather than like directly going in and getting like a trade like that or something like that. So it's like that's where this patience comes from. Is you get this, and then you get like, you know, and then you do this and you go in on like a forward tilt or something like that. So the thing I wanted to show you is you're kind of doing this thing where you get like, let me have them do forward tilt. Forward tilt. Okay, so look what I can do. I can do this. And so I can do this, and Sheik will think that I'm gonna like go in on her, which is what I want, like that. And so yeah, look, I can start it with a dash back. It's the same thing, but you're kind of doing like that, where you're like, it puts you too far away to like really get in after her moves. And so it kind of takes the pressure away that you would normally have. I guess you can laser nair the forward tilt if you're close. So yeah, no, that's why this is so good. Just like bam. I never really thought about it beating the forward tilt there, but yeah, wow, that's hilarious. But yeah, like basically you don't want to do this. You don't want to create that range because then you're too far to like come back in. You really, it's like you can be so freaking close to Sheik here, like that. So it's like just do this and be at this range and then play it out. And then if she does, I don't know, like the nair or something, you know, you just wait it out at this range super easily. Whereas like if you back off too far, this kind of resets, and you need to if you back off after this, you kind of need to go back in and reset it up again and then go for it.
So how do you deal? Because like sometimes there'll be Sheiks where they'll mix up like instant F tilt, or they'll like walk forward for like 5 frames or something
Yeah,
like that, and F tilt,
yeah.
or they'll walk forward for like 10 frames. Like they
Mm-hmm.
just kind of
Well, the thing
and
is,
then
the thing with walk forward is like take laser, walk forward, loses to laser into any attack. So it's just like they like think about your options is like okay, if you take laser into reset, like you want to do laser dash back laser, that will that will beat take laser walk in. It doesn't beat it, but you're safe. Like laser, they walk in, you dash back, you laser again. So what? They gained a little bit of space with their walk forward. They didn't gain anything else. You're now resetting the situation with another laser.
yeah,
So let's say you do laser dash dance, and they do take laser, walk forward, F tilt. That kind of does beat the laser dash dance. But if you do laser into attack, that just straight up completely defeats take laser walk. And Sheik just gets hit, and she takes like your biggest combo, you know? And so it's
yeah,
like, you can sort of do a thing where you're like, laser, be safe. Did she walk? Laser, be safe. Did she walk? And you can sort of use that, and then like you can read them walking by attacking into it. And then so basically, it's sort of a winning mix-up for Falco, and you just have to tune that based on what the Sheik in particular is doing. But you have like 3 options. One of them is the one you're going to be doing a lot, which is like laser, reset, laser. And then like, so that's the one you're going to be doing probably the most, just in neutral. And then you have
I
the
see.
laser dash dance one, which does beat laser. The walk forward tilt does beat the laser dash dance, but it's like a hard read basically. Like they have to just read you. They're like, I have no fear. They're not gonna laser and attack me ever. And it's like, oh, they're also not gonna laser and laser reset because if they do that, I'll just be at a slight disadvantage. So the walk forward is just not that good. It's kind of like Fox. Fox takes the laser and walks forward. Like you can just hit him. It's the same with Sheik, even though she has like her forward tilt and stuff like that.
yeah. I see.
Okay, so let's see the FD game. Approaching laser here makes no sense. Remember, you want to get laser damage. Your goal is not to like hit Sheik as fast as possible. The goal is laser damage, laser damage. You don't get the laser damage, and that's why this combo doesn't work. Look at this. If you had hit 2
Yeah.
lasers right here, and then you hit this is comboing. And this is why you have to get lasers at 0. Because this would have comboed. Okay, good pressure actually. I like that a lot.
Oh yeah.
So a lot of times right here, this is just a very specific. I like to do the instant like a fire stall right here. Instead of like because this is so like if they do the instant up B and you fire stall here, you will just grab edge and then you'll be able to like cover. Like if they do like double jump up B and they try to grab edge, you'll just grab it before them with the fire stall. And then if they do like a late one, you just refresh your invincibility. So I think fire stall is just like the right answer here because this is fine, but it only hits. The other thing with this is that like you're hard reading that he's gonna do the early up B
Yeah.
from below, and if you're hard reading that he's gonna do the early up B and you're ignoring all these later up Bs, you might as well down air from edge here because at least if it hits, you kill.
Yeah. So with the fire stall, are you not scared of getting like double jump up aired or whatever?
Nah, I mean it's invincible, right?
Well,
Like
you
if
have to be
I'm
frame perfect to be
yeah,
invincible.
and if I'm not frame perfect, there's 1 frame of vulnerability, and Sheik has to hard read that I'm fire stalling.
Um. Yeah. Well, okay. So I've thought about this and like, because the fire stall is about like 30 frames, right?
Uh,
In terms of like how long
I
it
don't
takes
know
before
I don't
you
remember
go.
the exact amount of frames that it loops for, but yeah, what were you saying?
Yeah. Like I was thinking, like, wouldn't it be reactable for the the Sheik to see the firestall and just try to hit the last frame of your invulnerability.
I'm pretty
And
sure that the fire stall is like 15 frames or something. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure like from when the up B starts, it's like 15. We can just check it really quick. It'll take like 10.
well,
It'll
because you're
take like 10 seconds.
yeah, like because you're like from when you let go of the ledge, you have to wait a certain amount of time.
Yeah, you have to wait a certain amount of
Like,
time until you regrab, right? But okay, so oops. Okay. So you let go here, and then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so it's about 29 from when you let go. But how many frames is it from when you start the up B? One sec.
I see. Okay, because I usually don't do the shine. I usually just let go and up B.
It's like the same thing. It's the same thing. It's just preference. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
Well,
21, 2, 3, 4. So that's like 23 frames, I guess. And it's kind of
I
like,
guess in terms of like giving them the visual stimulus, like if I'm just doing the instant up B.
oh, I
giving
get
them,
what you're saying. Yeah, because you can go like
yeah,
that, right? Like, and they can't. There's no way they can react to that. But so basically, the idea is like if you're Sheik and you're like recovering and you're way down here, and you see Falco grab edge and go, like, there's no way you reacted to that. And we're like, oh, of course, like double jump up air in the one frame of maybe vulnerability he has. And if he does the correct stall, or if I'm one frame late, or if I can't react, I die instantly from a down air. You know, like, I've just never once had a Sheik up air me out of that, ever. So,
yeah,
and definitely not a reaction.
yeah. I think it happens to me more against Marth.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I use Firestall more against Marth, but
And it's better against Marth too, just because it like kills him a lot of times. But also he does have a tendency to like clip you out of the one frame more.
yeah, yeah. I definitely remember in this session, him doing the very low recovery a lot, and me not covering it because I think all the Sheiks that I play don't do that ever. So
Oh, so this is the good example of this thing we were just talking about, where you laser and he shields, and then he does this nair, but you just sort of go in already. You can just kind of you just want to react a little bit more often. Like sometimes it's just laser 1, 2, 3 go, you know, but then like a lot of times you want to do like a laser see what they're gonna do strategy. Like more often than like you don't want to gamble as much as you want to like observe. So you have this like observation, you can just see this and then you just hit her out. And honestly, even when she hits this nair, as long as you're like ready for this nair to kind of clip you, you're fine. Like if you look at this, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. You're literally still positive on frames. Like you literally are still positive here, and you just kind of lose neutral afterward. So it's like not even a huge deal that she gets like her best case with the nair there.
right, yeah. Like I think the fact that I was in the very corner, I just felt like I just have to like do something.
Oh, and I was talking with Kalindi about this, is that like retreating down air is just not that good against Sheik. Like if you had just done like approaching down air here, you would have hit her, and you would have gotten like a combo out of this. It's just like the fade back down air is more for characters that want to like pivot grab you, and Sheik is not like a pivot grabber. It's kind of like the approaching laser thing, where like when you're doing like fade back down airs, you kind of want it to be like, well, you were gonna try to pivot grab this, but I faded back, so now your pivot grab will miss, you know. But with Sheik, she's not really gonna do that. Like if you're gonna make the risk here of doing this like early down air like this, you just want to drift it all the way in, to be honest, because you would have gotten a combo out of it. Yeah, like that one. So you do this one in, and then you hit her, and you're like, oh, nice, I actually get a combo out of it.
Yeah.
Okay, about 3 more minutes and we'll switch to the Fox video, I guess. That'll be about 40 minutes.
Yeah, I just
Um,
I wanna know if you notice anything like FD specific in this.
yeah, let's watch through it and see. Okay. See how bad Falco is at 0? Lasers! Lasers! Okay. Okay, you're just sort of fighting your way in. Hmm. So, it's like, it's not necessarily like FD specific, but I think it's just that, like, because you don't have enough of a plan in the laser interactions that we've been talking about, like, because you haven't really been using the lasers that we, like, went over during this lesson, like, playing these organized laser situations against Sheik just end up like he didn't really power shield much last game, and it's because he was mostly moving around on the platforms, and so most likely you're just sort of kind of better at like dealing with platform Sheik than like Sheik, like grounded laser game Sheik. Even though like grounded laser game Sheik is the one that's clearly like the most Falco favored,
Yeah,
and I think that's probably just from like lack of game plan and like what type of lasers you want and stuff like that.
I see.
So it's kind of just like this is like an issue on all stages, and then FD is like entirely flat basic laser gameplay, and so it kind of just like highlights the issue even more. And that's what
Yeah,
I'm seeing here is just like you haven't like you haven't like used lasers to win a neutral situation. Typically you're just winning with like aerial reads, or you're doing lasers and then you kind of just get power shielded and then like lose the situation. um, so
yeah,
yeah, I just really want you to practice like that range with the lasers, and focus on like not dashing back too far after you get the laser at that range, and then sort of doing timing mix-ups into the punish there, and like also like laser and then like resetting that same laser and just continuously getting lasers at that range and then playing neutral like out of that. I think
yeah.
it'll help a lot, especially on FD, because like just watching this, it's like
Because that's
literally
all there is.
the same situations kept coming up where you'd get these lasers, but then you just sort of like don't play the laser situation out well enough, and then you get hurt. So that's
Yeah,
pretty
I
much
think
gonna be it, I think.
I think that makes sense. And then I guess one final
Yeah,
question
of
about
course.
Sheik I had was, um, when, so like I know that when she jumps and like charges needles, like if I happen to be running in, I can run under her and punish.
Mm-hmm.
But if I just happen to not be running in, I always feel like, oh, okay, now I have to just retreat really far to not to like get out of range of the needles, and I feel like I just get pushed back.
You can actually just go in. Like I know that like it doesn't feel as good. Like you like what you said, where you can like happen to be already moving in, and that's obviously great. But honestly, if you aren't already moving in, you can get in like way later than you realize. Like, and the reason is because Sheik is not gonna fast fall. Like Sheik doesn't do full hop fast fall needles. Sheik does full hop needle charge needle as she's falling, and so you actually have a ton of time to get underneath Sheik, and like the needles actually kind of hit like kind of high too. Like I'm just always surprised. Like Sheik will full hop, and I'm like, well, I guess I'll go in, and I like run in, and so I still get it like all the time. So that's just what you do. Just go in.
Okay,
It's crazy how
because
often it works. I promise.
I feel like I get clipped by the needles a lot, but maybe I'm just not fully committing to running in
Honestly, you can
as
even
fast
do
enough.
stuff just like roll. Like you could just like roll under her and stuff. It's the roll's obviously not as good, but like just like
Yeah.
you don't have to like super duper retreat. It's better to go in. Sometimes she's far enough away that you're like, fine, I'll just retreat, and then it's this awkward situation where you have to like wait for the needles on the ground to dissipate. But
Yeah.
I usually just sit there and spam a few lasers, like all right, let's get back to it. And then
I
a lot
see.
of times she'll like try like sometimes what happens to me is like I'll be playing neutral and then she'll do full hop needle, and I like just for whatever reason was not able to like approach her at all. And I'm like, fine.
Yeah.
I like roll backwards. I'm like mad far away. And I'm like, all right, laser, approaching laser. And then she's like, haha, full hop needle again. And I'm like, this time I'm getting in. And I just get in and I kill her for it. That's kind of how it goes.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not like the easiest thing to punish, but also a lot of times you can punish it. It doesn't feel super high value for Sheik for me.
All right.
Um,
Yeah, I'll try that.
all right, and what are we going over in the Fox matchup here? Like, what's the issue? We have about 15 minutes to try to figure it out.
Um, I guess. Well, okay. So recently, I've been working on trying to use the platforms more to like navigate out of disadvantageous
Good, good.
positions.
That's good.
I probably still have a lot of ways to go on that, but
Mm-hmm.
uh, I guess I think what would be helpful is if you could
Ooh, yeah.
identify situations where I should have done that but didn't,
Okay.
or like ways, or like if I try to do that and it fails, like what went wrong, kind of thing.
Okay. This is funny. This is this exact same situation again where they do this thing where they're like,
Yeah,
game
yeah.
starts, avoid the lasers, come over, and I just literally drop and I roll. I'm just like, nope,
I
literally
see.
drop to the ground, roll, haha. You didn't accomplish anything, loser. Like I just get
Yeah.
annoyed that people at the beginning of every game like, I'll just go around. It's like, what do you mean? Yeah, I'll just go way around and I'll just get around all the lasers. Like, no, dude, it doesn't work.
Yeah, I
Um,
feel like I've never thought about the role there because I always feel like if I roll, it's because they did something that gave them an advantage.
mm-hmm.
Whereas
No,
just
I feel
rolling
you.
at the beginning of the
It's like
game feels
annoying
like,
that it requires the roll. Like it shouldn't require the roll, but a lot of times it's just best.
yeah,
Because it's just a reset. Like you're just like fine, like I'll reset. Like so what? It's kind of like sometimes you have to go to ledge and ledge dash, and it feels kind of like you're like conceding something, and it's like nah. Sometimes it's just the right option.
yeah,
Okay, let's see combo. Yeah, that's good. The verticality there is totally good. Okay. Okay, that was silly.
yeah.
Happens. Okay. Nice up tilt. Okay. Okay, I like the pressure a lot. This stock is really good so far. Okay. Super approve of this stock. Okay, good. Nice. Nice. Okay, that stock was just good in general. Didn't really do anything wrong. Okay. Hmm. Just this low side plat's probably not the play. I usually like to like go to the top plat during invincibility, or like go not even the top plat, but like I just go high against Fox.
Yeah,
I think it's really good to go high.
yeah.
Hmm. So honestly, your play in this matchup looks pretty good. Uh, I actually think it looks very good in a lot of ways. Like, wow, yeah, that was good. Nice. I think the main issue is that you kind of sometimes take more risks than you maybe should. Like it's funny because you clearly know how to play without the risks, but then like sometimes you'll take them anyway. And I think
Yeah,
that's kind of like Fox is just you need like puff levels of discipline against Fox, and it's basically like you're beating up a puff the entire time, and then like you throw out one gamble and you get rested. That kind of happens against Fox. See, it's just like you just have to be like ultra super principled. And honestly, this game was overall, I think you played really well. Almost all of your decisions have been really good. The main reason that you lost this game is you didn't protect yourself in like a few critical situations, like the invincibility and stuff like that, and that like got you killed early. And then
yeah,
you didn't punish hard enough. Those were actually the main issues that game, more so than anything else. Like if you had just punished harder those games, you would have won. Like if I watched myself play in tournament and I took as many gambles as you took that set, I would be like, that's kind of how I lost to Mango. Is I let him like put me in like Mango's Fox. Is I let him put me in too many situations where instead of just like taking the difficult, safe, correct route, I took the much easier, like, but what if this down air hits route? And then you
yeah.
just kind of get destroyed for it. And it's just like, yeah, Falco versus Fox is like a test of like extreme discipline. And then you also
I
have to hit
see.
your punishes. But I actually think, like, in terms of the basic patterns of this matchup, you're looking really, really good. Better than most Falcos, I will say. So,
Yeah, that's good to hear because I remember like our first lesson was Fox versus Falco. I don't know if you remember anything from that, but I pretty much just gambled like 100% of the time.
okay, yeah. So this is a big, big improvement. Now it's like, so here's the biggest thing that I want to give you, and I think this is something that you can remember a lot, is that you don't want to gamble when they tell you to gamble. That's like the most important thing. So when you feel pressured to gamble, that's when you don't want to gamble. You want to gamble when you are comfortable and you're like, ooh, this looks like a good position for a read that I have decided to do. And then you do it. If your opponent is
Right.
like, come on, you're at disadvantage, take the gamble, take the easy
Yeah.
way out, that's when you don't want to do it. And so I feel like when you're in neutral or when you're in advantage positions, you're actually playing them out really well and staying safe and disciplined. And it's only when you get a little bit pressured that you're like, oh, it's gamble time. And it's like that's the one moment you don't want to use the gamble time. Is
Yeah.
when they go gamble and you okay fine I'll gamble and you're like no.
I see.
So let me see if we can find an example of that here. Okay, this is just another example of one of those spots where like I don't play this out. I roll here. I
Yeah.
just roll here every time. I don't try to fight it out.
So like anytime they get on the top platform and you just end up in a place where you can't really dash away to escape, you just want to roll.
Yeah, I roll all the time when people are on the platforms. I'm just like, what are you gonna do? Drop off the platform? Like you can't catch me. It's Falco's roll is too good.
I see.
Okay, great CC. Okay, yeah, this is like definitely like this shine is just bad
Yeah.
because it's already
Yeah.
stale. If you had just done like a strong back air or an up air or another down air or literally anything here, you could have like probably killed Fox.
Yeah.
So, okay, so that's kind of a big one. Is I haven't seen you finish any punishes. Like you don't like you haven't even gotten like a kind of punish finish where you do like down air shine, forward smash, and then edge guard. You know, it's like
Yeah.
you're just kind of missing a lot of the crucial extensions. Like you hit the down air shines really cleanly every time, but then you're not like converting those to like good kills. And you're fine at edge guarding too. Like this edge guard like
Yeah.
this is silly, but oh my goodness. Okay, the perfect time to mention that.
Yeah.
But no,
That's
the
what
edge yeah.
yeah, sorry. I definitely dedicated a lot of effort into like the bread and butter, like 0 to 50, and I've
Mhm.
also dedicated a lot of effort into the edge guarding.
Yeah. So
So
you need to focus on the punish after the down air shine, and like converting that into edge guards and kills, because that's super missing from this, in my opinion. And it's honestly the biggest thing that's missing. You've made like not to just keep being like, oh, you're so great or whatever, but like you've made a lot of decisions these games that like super surprised me, where I was like, oh, that was actually just really, really smart and good. So like it's not as much that you're like doing like you're doing so much good stuff. You just need to like fix those couple little holes of like honestly the biggest one that's showing up is the punish here. More so than even like the gamble thing. So honestly, I haven't even seen that many. Like, I haven't seen any of the bad gambles this game. It's just that, like, you get this. Like, when you get this shine, this needs to be, like, the end of Fox, like, a third of the time at least. Like, if this was. If he maybe dies out of this, like, oh my goodness. But instead, it's 40 damage. And then you're like, okay, I gotta get it again. Oh no, I'm getting up aired. And, like, oh no. And then this. Okay, you get another one. Is this gonna kill him? I doubt it. Oh, that did 20 more damage. You're like, okay. Like, okay, that was like, two.
I definitely.
And then you're like, all right, knockdown. Here we go, the kill. Oh, I didn't get it. That did another 17 or something like that. And then you're like, okay, this one. Okay, I got the edge guard. And then it's like, okay, now you maybe have a chance to kill out of the edge guard. You miss it. You know, like that type. Like it sounds extra ridiculous, just like VOD reviewing. You know, like it's hard to hit these things in the game. And I'm not expecting you to hit every single one, but the rate that these convert, like like landing a shine at 20 or 30, needs to lead into like not a kill, just the edge guard. Like you just need to convert into the edge guard, and you'll just start bopping people. Like you're already playing this matchup really great. Honestly, just punish harder. And like the gamble thing is like, honestly, for the level you're at, it's not nearly as big of a deal as the punish. Like I want you to like. I think the fact even that you're just thinking about the fact that like, oh, I'm gonna go to the platform more to avoid disadvantage against Fox type of thing. I actually think that's already like you're already kind of moving towards solving that problem. And especially you said that like before it was all gambles, and now it's like. You know, like before you basically, I guess, played this matchup more like how you play Sheik. The Sheik matchup that you showed me is basically all gambles, and it needs to be a lot more like this, where you're playing a lot of these safe situations.
Yeah. Okay. So I have a question of like, what to do to get the punish game to that level, because I feel like the things that I practice now, like, I've kind of always wanted to improve that aspect, but I feel like I haven't been seeing much improvement.
Okay,
especially when it comes to like tech chasing and
Okay, so what I would do is I would try to break it down into like individual situations. Like for instance, let's just say this game you missed a couple like shine, like let's just say for the sake of argument the shine is too stale to use on the mistech. Like if you're an Uncle Punch or whatever, I don't care if the shine is actually staled appropriately, but basically like just stand here, put Fox here, like hit him with a shine or something, like make him DI to the platform and mistech, and then just like practice doing stuff, try different moves, try down air, try back air, try up air, try wave landing to the platform. Just like mess around with a bunch of options until you find some stuff that you feel like comfortable with, like forward air, like short hop forward air off the platform. There's all kinds of like Falco has a bazillion options there, and it's kind of just like you just need to recreate a specific situation 100 times and just mess with it until you feel more comfortable, so you don't just like shine there on like out of like desperation kind of.
So I would say like the reason I do that shine is because I know that I can cover all 4 tech options. Like it's part of my coverage of all 4 options, and I feel like if I use a different move to cover the mistech, it'll be a read instead of, and I won't be covering the rolls. Do you think that's just an okay trade-off, or like?
Okay, so so one of the options that you can cover is mistech, and then you just shark from underneath the platform with shine. because you can reaction tech chase Fox's missed tech options with Shine.
Yeah.
So like you just don't want that like pop up Shine, like the missed tech pop up Shine thing. It's just not good.
Yeah.
So it's like any way you can avoid that. You can, yeah, it's like I said, on Yoshi's at the like you can avoid it, like you can avoid it entirely and just react to his get up options, whatever. I'm just saying create the situation a bunch of times and practice on it because like having a guaranteed reaction tech chase where you do 6 damage and they fly away doesn't matter. Like
Yeah.
having a 3 out of 4 where if you get your 3 out of 4 or even like 2 out of 4 and you get that and it kills, that's way more important than having a 4 out of 4 where it doesn't do anything.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. I think one of the reasons I have this problem probably is because most of my punish game practice is just like starting combos from 0 or like
Yeah.
5%.
Uh-huh. No, I can definitely like the thing is it's fine to start combos from that percent. Um as long as you practice the later parts of the combo. Like I was teaching my friend how to do Fox's zero death like chain grab in like the Ditto on FD, and like he would just start at 0 and then every stock he would perfectly chain grab up to like 70 and then miss the finish. And I was like just start at 70. Like
Yeah.
like just start at 70. So like just put
Yeah.
Fox at like 40 or 50 and shine him and then put him on a random DI and just practice that a little bit. I think it would help a lot.
Yeah. And would you say like once he's at that percent, um, would you prioritize just getting a strong hit off stage over like extending the combo?
I'll be honest with you, I just do something different every time.
Okay.
Like sometimes I'm like it feels like combo time and then like normally I think what I do is I normally am like gonna extend it, but if he's on the side plat and I don't like basically if I shine him or something and then I'm like, ooh, I can extend the combo like this, then I'll probably go for the extension. And if I can't really think of one, I'll probably just like hit him off stage and then edge guard. Like I don't have a perfect combo game with
Yeah.
Falco either. I mostly just try to focus on like if you can keep the combo going, that's good because you'll eventually get an edge guard. Like basically, it's like I practice keeping the combo going, and then in tournament, I sometimes keep it going, and sometimes I get scared and just hit them. And that's just kind of how it
Yeah.
is, for at least for me.
I
I just
think for
but
me,
yeah.
yeah, for me, it's like I practice keeping the combo going, and then in tournament, I try to keep it going and I drop it, and then I lose.
Right. Yeah, it's kind of like you gotta just you gotta be good at keeping it going, and then when you can't think of a way to keep it going, end it. A lot better than getting like reversaled or just like dropping the punish over and over.
Yeah.
There's a lot of spots with comboing Fox. Honestly, there are a lot of spots where you can't keep it going. Like this is what I'll say is that like when I shine Fox at 0, I am not planning on doing a 0 death. I am planning on comboing until he puts himself in a spot. Like, how do I describe it? It's kind of like the Marth thing, where like when you're DIing on Marth and you're like, well, if I DI out, he kills me, and if I DI
Yeah.
in, he keeps building damage until he kills me. And that's sort of how you want your combo game with Falco to feel, where it's like if they do this crazy DI off stage and they try really hard not to get repeatedly comboed, then you're just like, okay, I'll edge guard you. And if they want to like hold in on every combo and like never DI off stage, then you can just be totally fine to just keep comboing them. But you shouldn't be like trying to force a long combo when your opponent is determined to get out of your combo, and you shouldn't be trying to like force an edge guard when your opponent is trying really hard to just hold on stage. Kind of like a lot of times against Falcon. It's like you can't really like force an edge guard when he's holding on stage, and so you just kind of keep beating him up. And then if he really wants to get off stage and go for a double jump, you're like, fine, I'll just try to hit you even further off. So that's kind of like you just kind of have to like
Yeah.
flow with it, if that makes sense.
I see. And then the last thing would be like, let's say you're in a position where you have to kind of choose between setting up a tech chase or just hitting them away. Um,
I think
I
so what Mango does against Spaceys, and I kind of stole this from his combo game, is he tries to combo the opponent into the corner because Falco can reaction tech chase in the corner. So I think tech chases are worth it in the corner and not worth it in center stage, basically.
Okay, so if you're in that situation in center, you just hit them to the corner.
Yeah, I would just hit him to the corner and then try to tech chase out of the corner or hit him off stage. I don't usually go for tech chases in center stage because Falco gets like a 3 out of 4 at most.
Yeah.
But okay. Any closing thoughts? I think that went pretty well going over some of the issues, and definitely that punish thing on Fox is big, and then like playing the Sheik matchup more like the Fox, more like how you currently play the Fox matchup, where you're trying to like stay safe from stuff, and then also setting up that like laser range on Sheik. I think will be beneficial a lot, like cross up aerialing and
Yeah.
stuff with the Nair and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think it's I have a good idea of what to do
Okay.
for the next little while.
Awesome, man. It was good talking with you. And
Yeah, for sure.
I see you paid through Streamlabs, so or through like Twitch, so that's totally cool. And let me know how this goes. Let me know if you have any other questions or like concerns about what we talked about, or like clips or anything like that. And I hope you
Yeah.
have a good one.
Yeah, you too. Thank you.
All right, peace.